Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, bye. This is a good one. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled by it, right? So a lot has been coming out about the Vegas shooter, Sincity Manny. He went to court yesterday. He was charged with 2 counts of murder. And unfortunately, man, families are ruined. It's a story that continues to grow. It's a story that people are starting to look into the background and really realize that this could have been prevented. This really could have been prevented. This was a situation where social media wins again. Social media is undefeated. You know, people bully people, people harass people. Social media is not utilized or used for what it's supposed to be. And it's supposed to be used for information, entertainment. You know, if you need to fix something in your house, you could always Google it and someone knows how to do that shit. But in this case, this was 3 years of back and forth. This was 3 years of disrespect, 3 years of doxing, putting out people's addresses, putting out people's whereabouts, you know, disrespecting, fat shaming. There's so many different elements to this story that now looking at it from the outside in and learning the details I'm learning about both these guys, Finney the Legend and Manny, I can only say that this was kind of inevitable. Not necessarily the murders, but the culmination of some type of assaultive behavior. There was going to be something going down. Now, I learned some details about Manny. I interviewed myself and Dubs on the live. We interviewed, and I'm sure you'll watch the video. It's on Dubs' channel as well as mine. We interviewed a friend or an associate of Finney and an associate of Manny, someone who knew both of them, who's from Vegas, who had interaction with both for several years, was a part of their community, you know, because I never knew that Vegas had their own YouTube community and that it was ran the way it was ran. Now, allegedly, and according to this guy and other people that I've talked to, we're going to get into the details in this video of who Manny, the shooter, truly was, where he was from originally, and kind of how he ran Vegas with a tight fist, right? He ran it like a prison yard, basically. He ran it like, you know, what I could only associate in my mind, kind of like structure. It was very structured. In his mind, he was wearing the crown on the Vegas Strip, and that was that. So, you know, in when I interviewed this guy, he said, you know, plenty of things that resonated with me, that gave me the reason to do this video. One was that Manny had given up his job. He had sacrificed, you know, everything that he knew to put his all into his social media. So he was very dedicated, meaning it was all that he had. It was how he provided for his family. It was how he was getting by. And I can understand when you're all in, when you say you push your chips all in, especially in a city like Las Vegas, right? You hope and pray that you win, but it ain't that serious. It doesn't always happen. You got to understand that you're going to take L's just like W's. L's come more frequently than W's, if you know what I mean. But in the situation, Manny, Sincity family, they were winning for a while until Finney came along, right? And there was, and if you watch the video, man, there was something that happened on Halloween night in 2023 and several other incidences that continued to grow and escalate this beef. And ultimately, it ended on June 8, 2025 on the Vegas Strip, man, with Finney the Legend and his wife, Bubbly, losing their life. It's unfortunate. You know, their daughter put a post up yesterday, and it was such a saddening thing to see how many people are affected, how many people were victimized, truly. And I'm not going to play devil's advocate, and I'm not going to play one side over the other. In this case, these guys were both in the negative. They were both in the wrong, right? Finney took it to the next level by continuing. I mean, he had a channel that was built on the predicate of dedicating his whole being on YouTube to clowning, bullying, shaming, disrespecting, and basically he was trying to tear Manny down piece by piece, block by block, Lego by Lego. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to Lego his bagel his ego, right? And Manny, being from where he's from, didn't take too kindly. Now, let me explain to you the background on where Manny is from. He is from originally the city of Salinas. And I've said before in many videos, also the city that your favorite, everybody's favorite, Free Cain Velasquez is from too. Now, I've done time with plenty of guys from Salinas. Okay, Salas, Samsters, Casitas, gang members. It's a very gang-related city. It doesn't mean that's all there is in the city of Salinas. There are some good Chicano people, good Mexicano people, the hardworking people. Salas was not built on gangs. It was built on hard work, right? Preservation of one's ethnicity. Love your people. There's a big Mexican community there. There's a big brown community there. There's a little bit of everything. But Salas is not known for that. See, they lost that in the 70s, 80s when people started to get out of prison and plant their flags in the city of Salas, and the Norteno movement started to, make that their headquarters. What happened was that love for a place like Salinas, what it was built on and what it was for, kind of got lost in the sauce, right? And now it became a situation where it's known for gangbanging. It's known for structure. It's known for fighting. It's known for gang violence, north and south. There's a little bit of everything. More Norteños, it's a hub, right? But you do have Southsiders there. Let's not deny the facts, right? Now you have a lot of shit going back and forth. And when you think City of Salinas, you don't think lettuce, salad bowl. You think don't go to that area. It's very gang related and it's dangerous. There's documentaries made about it. And at no point in time is there a documentary made where they don't mention the gangs of Salinas pretty much run that town. And it's a northern city in Northern California. Now, Manny, Sincity Manny was born there. He was from there. Somewhere along the lines, he found himself in Las Vegas with his wife, who I hear is from Watson, which is a very gang-related northern heavy city as well. Okay? And they moved to Vegas to start a new life. And this guy has the background of a charismatic person. Someone who wants to be a star, someone who was associated with the rap game, try to be a rapper. I've seen all this before. People that just will not take no for an answer. And look, quietly as it's kept, that's what we're told, right? Speak it into existence. Keep that energy with the world, and the world will put out the same energy. Hey, this guy was trying to be a star. This guy ultimately wanted to be known. Well, he got what he truly wanted. Now everyone in the world's talking about him, but they're not talking about him in the way that he wanted. It's crazy to think that, someone would go this route when all they were trying to do was their own thing, right? I guess his channel gained the popularity that he wanted. Unfortunately, he won't be there to experience it. Neither will his family, because his channel was gone. He lost everything that he worked hard for. And I know what it takes to be a content creator. I know what it takes, to go out there and pay and be on that pavement, man, and making things happen. And you got to come up with these ideas and these thumbnails and all this stuff. And you got to keep the audience captivated. But not only do you got to make them laugh, you got to make them cry, you got to get them emotional. You also got to give them good content. You got to be on your shit, right? So it takes a lot of work. And when you have a man like Finney was, whose whole sole purpose was to tear this man down consistently, right? It was inevitable. Something was going to happen. Now, I'm not saying Finney was a bad man. Outside of his YouTube, from what his friend said, he was a great man. He was a good man. He was a husband. He was a father, right? But there's a lot of husband and fathers that don't know how to act when they get behind a camera on social media. It's the truth. You become two different people. Your regular life and who you are as a person is not who you are behind camera. See, people get brave behind camera. They get brave behind keyboards. They think they cannot be touched, or they think that other people ain't really all about that life. Well, I'm here to tell you, Sincity Manny was from the city of Salinas. Everybody out of Salas is with that life. Everybody from Salinas, Norteño, Southsider, Paisa, white, black, brother, Amparo, it doesn't matter. They are born into that life. Salinas is a hard city. It's like East LA. No comparison. I'm not trying to compare. So don't get in my DM saying, oh, how can you? Fuck you, right? Look, I'm saying this. They're born into that culture. They're born into that structure. They're born into that, hey, that mentality. It's a doggy dog world, right? Survival of the fittest. That's how Salinas is. It's how it's always been. Now, being that Manny's from there, I'm not saying that he's the shooter and he had the balls because he was from Salinas, but hey, it seems like these guys from Salinas are quick to pick up the gun, right? Look at Cain Velasquez, born in the city of Salinas, pew, 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 right? Bang, bang, bang. He picked one up and now he's in prison. Manny, also from the city of Salinas, transplanted to Vegas, pew, 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 bang, bang, bang. Now he's locked up. It's not a laughing matter, and I'm not trying to make light of it. There are 2 dead people because of YouTube. There are 2 people deceased in front of a lot of people, and it could have been worse. There was babies crying in the background. If you've seen the original video, there was people scattering, running for their life. Imagine me growing up from that life, the criminal lifestyle, the streets, right? We heard shootings every night, helicopters, task force, raids, people running from the cops. We'd see it like, uh-oh. Our first instinct wasn't run or get away from the situation. Our first instinct was to call the homeboys, hey, Task Force Tuesday, bro, they're raiding over here on our street. Tuck it. Fuck it, man. Tuck it, right? That was always our instinct because we're from the streets. But there are people that are civilians that were never raised around that are just family people, especially in Las Vegas, which to me, I've always said this about any place. Doesn't matter, Vegas, New York, Merced, Modesto, Fresno, LA. Anytime past 10 o'clock, take your ass inside. There ain't nothing out there that you want to be around. I don't care where it's at. You shouldn't have children and babies and anything out there on the Vegas Strip because it's a dangerous situation. So you can't enjoy Vegas like Vegas is meant to be enjoyed. It's not like that no more. Now you have people, really real life people, man, trying to figure out where each other is at so they can handle business. Manny was trying to do it since the morning before. He wanted to find Finney. Now, I'll say this about Finney. Finney didn't truly believe that Manny was capable of something like this. Something about Manny, Finney obviously thought he was a sucker. He obviously thought, hey, this dude ain't with the activities of the business. But there's something about Manny just looking at him, just kind of studying the way he was moving in his channel and the things that I seen about him. I could tell, man, that this guy was truly dedicated. He was one of those type of people that once he put his all into it, that's what it is. And, from what we're hearing, and it kind of blew my mind yesterday when I did the interview, and this is where I got like I said, the idea for the Salinas video, and I'm not saying he's a Norteno or was ever a Norteno or a gang. In fact, from what I'm hearing, he actually was loyal and sympathetic to the Southern cause. So he had a lot of Southsider homeboys. And people are like that. Just because you grow up in one city doesn't mean, and if you're not gang related, you're not affiliated or associated with that, you could be cool with any Mexicano you want, North or South. I am, right? And I was a Norteno, but I'm just cool with everybody. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you're brown, you're down. I'm down. It's all good. But I seen videos where they're like, oh, he's a Norteno, he's from Salinas. I don't know why everyone always assumes just because you're born or you're from Salinas that you're a Norteno. Now, I get it. There are a lot of Northerners, Norteños from Salas, but there's Southsiders there too, man. There's just regular Mexicans there too. Doesn't mean like a lot of them are related to Northerners, or I'm sure you got family because there's just that many Northerners there, but it doesn't automatically place you in a vaudeville. You're not born and like, I'm from Acosta Plaza, right? It doesn't work that way. Okay. I'm a Salinero. It's not like that. I'm active in a function. It doesn't work that way. The way it works is you are who you associate with and who you want to be. Manny was not gang related, but Manny hung around some gangsters. That's just it. Now, the thing that tripped me out about the whole situation was what I was told, how Manny was trying to control Fremont Street. Now, I've been to Fremont Street plenty of times. Okay. I remember the first time it tripped me out the tunnel and people ziplining, and I was like, wow, this is some shit. This is amazing. This is fun. Women dancing on top of bars, the street vendors, good food, a lot of drink, concerts on every corner. You got people lookalikes dressed like Michael Jackson and Tupac and Bugs Bunny and whatever, and your people are taking pictures. Well, Manny was a street performer. And I understand. And one of the things that Finney was doing, because Manny was a street performer, was that he was going in on him about it. You got to provide for your family by being a street dude or dressing up like Cat in the Hat or whatever he was saying, right? And unfortunately, man, people get picked on or clowned for things that, hey, at least that Vatos out there. He's not lazy on the couch, not doing nothing, sipping, drinking his life away or shooting his life away. At least he's out there trying to do whatever he can for his family. I truly support the motherfucking the work ethic, right? Now, I know people are going to clown on it. You know, they clown me off from my hats to my shoes to whatever. I get clowned, but I got thick skin. I know how to deal with that shit. This guy obviously was getting tired of it. You know, when a guy's trying to provide for his family and all you're doing is, and you basically make a channel to go in on him. The channel was made to go in on this particular individual. Man, that was some pure hatred right there. You know, and I understand that, you know, allegedly Manny, or it's not even allegedly, he did mace Bubbly at one point in time. They had a confrontation. Some people are saying Bubbly started the confrontation. Some people are saying, man, look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what some people say. I know what I see. And I did see that there was an altercation and Manny maced her. Okay. And I can understand Finney's pissed, defending the honor, but that's when you just pull up and beat the dude's ass. You could go by yourself. You don't need to take your wife, your family. You don't need to announce it on YouTube. You don't need to tell anyone. You don't need a camera crew there. You don't need any of that. All you need is these and that, a mentality to do it and these to handle it and let the wind push you. And you go do your thing. Whip his ass and say, hey, bro, that's for what you did. Now I ain't got, now we're even Steven. If you want to get back off, well, then we'll do what we got to do, but I'm cool. See, but none of this happened. What happened was more of a mental thing. If I could tear this man down mentally, you know, I don't know what Finney was trying to gain from it. Look what he gained. Look what happened. He was trying to tear this man down mentally, and he did. He tore him down so bad mentally that this man lost his marbles and came at him with the thing. You know, it's unfortunate that this type of shit happens. But again, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot that goes into it. The tearing down, the bullying, the whatever. And I'm not saying Finney was a bad man. I'm saying, but this is, let's be real. Shout out to all the people that support Finney, but this is fucking real. This is what he was doing to this dude. And yes, it did go back and forth, but he literally was tearing this man up. When you see someone and like they can't fuck with you on the verbal spit, like their vernacular is way spectacular. It's kind of like with me against certain trolls, like they just can't fucking keep up, right? And you know this, what you do is you ease off the pedal like, oh man, I'm so far ahead, I ain't even gonna pedal fast no more. I'm cool, right? And this happened to me too. There's people I'm like, just damn, the motherfucker's good at this shit, right? That's it. Finney was too much for Manny. And he got him to a point where that dude it was do or die. And he did. He did it, and the other guy died. And his wife. Unfortunately, it's sad. And Manny being from Salinas, like I seen this video, oh, he's a Norteno. That had nothing to do with it. But look, one thing that he did do that tripped me out was he was controlling Fremont Street, the Vegas Strip. It's not the Vegas Strip. You got the Strip and then you got Fremont Street. But Fremont Street, man, there's a lot of activity there, right? Been there. Like I said, I've seen some shit. He was controlling that shit. He was monopolizing that shit. Anyone that came with cameras, try to set up shop, hey, man, I got a great idea. And Vegas is for everybody. Everyone around the world goes to Vegas, right? Hey, man, I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm going to start filming. And they, you know, it's a smart idea. I'm going to film. There's a lot of people. A lot of things crack off. Man, it's perfect content. It's a fucking melting pot of content. Abundance of content, right? Manny was pulling up on people like, hey, bro, this is me. You better get the fuck out of here, right? That right there was a little too much. That right there was ego. That right there was territorial. That right there was Salinas. That's Sala shit. It was almost like this guy was a gang member or on a prison yard. He had that attitude and that mentality. And it got to a point where he felt disrespected on that yard or on that strip. And he came out busted. It's crazy. You know, the mentality of a person we'll never know. Unfortunately, 2 people are dead. Manny did go to court. He pleaded not guilty, self-defense. Now, if you watch the video closely, Manny does walk by slowly, okay? What's going to fuck him on this case was the videos that he did prior saying that he was going to shoot him at the corner and if he caught him in a red light and looking for him and, you know, he could plead insanity or whatever, say that he fucking lost his marbles in his mind. But when he walked by him, if you look, Finney was on the phone. Finney seen him walk by and kind of laugh like this clown right here. Turned around, and as Manny walked by, Finney said something, right? Next thing you know, Finney's wife starts arguing with Manny. right? Not really arguing. She was trying to prevent it. Like, let that shit go. Don't fucking come over here with that stupid shit. Again, they thought this dude was like a punk. Don't come over here with that stupid shit. Don't be starting shit, right? And you could distinctly hear Finney in the background say, "What's up, cuz?" And then the gun comes up. Is that self-defense? You don't pull a gun out into a fist fight, right? I don't think Vegas is stand your ground, but whatever. We'll see how it all works out. Anyways, man, I kind of wanted to pinpoint some of the things that I heard yesterday and speak on it. I appreciate your support. We're going to get into some bomb content today here. And if you're not tapped into the collective clips, that's where all my funny shit is. Go over there. It's about to be banging. It's going to go down today. Hey, I don't even want to say my last saying anymore because fuck, someone might get me. But fuck it, I'll say it anyways. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. That's on Manny, right? I'm going to wear my crown. And I'm going to continue to do what I do for all people. The gun. Bang, bang.